Do you have your assessment ready? This is the Facebook group assessment. It's 20 questions. I don't even know that that's the first page. There it is. Back and front, 20 questions. We are going to talk about how you assess and optimize your Facebook group. And it all starts with doing this free self-assessment. If you're like, what self-assessment? I don't know what you're talking about. The link is up above. The link's going to take you to a post in the Facebook group where the link is to go and grab it. So there's a little bit of rigmarole. So if you've not downloaded it, download it. Yeah, if you've not yet downloaded it, I would say stay with me anyway. Stay with me, absorb this all in. You can go and grab it later. Okay. I'm going to kind of walk through many of the questions and how you score this. And then what we're going to get into is what the heck we do. So we're going to talk about how do I interpret the results? How do I tabulate? How do I interpret the results? And then most importantly, what the heck do I do? What do I do? So my first question for you, for those of you who have done the self-assessment. Now, this self-assessment, I've had it out for a while. Oh man, I don't know that it's a year old, but it's probably 6 months old. So you may have taken it in the past, and that's okay. Maybe it's time to take it again and compare and contrast. Are you seeing an improvement in your numbers? Are you making headway? Are you starting to get more traction inside your Facebook group? That is what it's designed to do. And it's also, by the way, sort of like a roadmap to help you figure out what are the levers that you have to pull in order to get your Facebook group to the point where it is thriving and growing and people are commenting and engaging and you are selling stuff. That's the objective. So back to my question. For those of you that have completed this assessment, is there an opportunity to improve? I don't want you to tell me the score. The score is your business. If you want to message me separately and tell me what your score is, I'll listen. I'll talk to you about it. But for today, I just want to know, is there an opportunity for you to improve what's going on in your Facebook group? I'd love to see some comments there. And if you have figured out where the area of opportunity is, if you want to drop some of those comments, like, is it that you need to work on growing your group? Is it that you need to work on content? Is it that you need to work on engagement? Where do those opportunities lie? Okay, let's see what we got here. Amanda says massive opportunity to improve. Okay, I don't know that it's massive, but there's an opportunity to improve. Okay. I'll be honest with you. If this assessment had existed 2 years ago, I know you've all heard me talk about how my group was completely dead 2 years ago. Like, it was a total embarrassment. Okay. I would have scored a 0 on this assessment. Zero. So it can't be worse than that, can it? Oh, I don't think so. You do not need a miracle. Amanda, no, you do not need a miracle. You need some strategies and some tactics. You can absolutely turn around. It can't be lower than 0, right? No. So you're better off than I was 2 years ago. And look where you are now. Consider that, Amanda. Okay. Sorry about the dog. He's clearly mad that you are saying you need a miracle. You do not need a miracle. Okay. Lucy says, absolutely. I'm assuming that's absolutely opportunity. Lucy says, I need to work on all of them. Okay. What is she talking about? All of them. There are 6 gears. I've talked about this before. Oh, you can't see that. Hold on. Where's my stuff? Where is my stuff and things? Okay. I honestly, y'all, you're going to laugh at this, but I cleared my office Monday. That was my Labor Day project to myself, is like organize my office. And now I can't find anything. You know how that is? Okay. There are 6 strategies. And these 6 strategies are the foundation of what is in this self-assessment. So if you are looking at what are the things that I need to work on, it's likely these things. And what I have found over the last 2 years is you need all of these 6 gears turning, moving forward, making traction. If you're only focusing on one, if I'm only pushing the content button, that one gear, that one wheel is not enough to move the whole system forward. You need all of them. Okay. So these are the categories of things that we're talking about. Okay. Same. You love Otis. I don't love Otis right now. Luckily, my husband came and got him. So hopefully we are in a good place. All right. Any questions about any of the 20 statements in the assessment? Were there any of these questions that made you go, I am not really sure what this means, or I'm not really sure how to interpret this, or I wasn't really sure how to answer this. Do any of them need clarification? I want to start with that. I want to comment on just a couple while you all are typing your questions, because some of these are just a little bit, I don't know that I want to say suspect, but I want to clarify some of them. Okay, so I'm not going to read all 20. At least I don't think I'm going to read all 20, but I want to highlight some of these. Okay. Where was the one I wanted to cover off first? Okay. I know what to do to drive more of my perfect people to ask to join my Facebook group. That's number 5. I know what to do. What I also want you to think about is, are you doing it? Is there a disconnect between knowing what to do and actually doing it or making it work that causes you to change your answer? Give that some thought. Okay. That's number 1. Okay. The other one was, okay, number 9. Members are warmly welcomed and start participating, engaging right away. Okay, there's 2 parts to that, right? So you might say, well, I am warmingly welcoming them. We're going to go with that. But they're not participating or engaging. Okay, so if you're doing one part and not the other, don't just assume that it's a sort of answer. Okay, just because you're doing one piece doesn't mean the whole system, the whole thing is working for you. So just wanted to call that out. Okay. The other one that I wanted to comment on was, hold on here. Number 13, members start their own posts, ask questions, and share content. Okay, the call out that I want to make on this one is, do you want them to? That's number 1. Do you want them to be doing those things? And are you inviting them to do those things? Something to think about. Okay. Also, number 15, I know what to do to generate engagement and comments on my video. Same question as before. Are you doing it? Is it working? If not, reevaluate your answer. Okay. And I think those are the only ones I wanted to call out, as I've seen that come up a number of people that I've talked to about this. Okay. No clue what to do. Well, we're going to talk about that today. You're in luck. Okay, number 12 was tough because nobody comments. Okay, Amanda, we are going to talk about next week's live, next Thursday, same time, same place. That's what we're going to talk about. What if I'm doing all of these things and still nobody is commenting? What if I'm not getting comments? What the heck do I do? That's next week's live. So come for that. Lucy says, number 5 was my first no. I know exactly what to do to drive more of my perfect people to ask to join my Facebook group. Yep. Did the Grow Your Group Challenge help you with some ideas? Last week, that's what we focused on, was 20 different ways to grow your group. So if anybody's watching and you missed that, it's still in the guides and it'll be there at least for the next month. So take advantage, go through. There's 3 different videos all about all the different ways that you can grow your group. Okay. Amanda says, number 18, no clue. I know how to calculate engagement in my Facebook group. Do you want to learn that today? Would you like to learn how to do that today? I'm going to show you if you want to learn. Yes? Y'all want to learn? Okay, we're going to do this. So excited. Jackie says, I don't even know what to put in my group. Okay. So that gets back to whatever, I don't remember what number it is. 10. I have a content strategy plan that's easy and works for me. I love the content I post. The assumption there is you have a plan, you have a strategy. If you're still at that point in your journey on becoming awesome at social media, you like how I said that? Listen, I was at the point where I sucked at social media too. It's okay. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just randomly throwing stuff out and it just creates this hot mess. So I get it. So what you need is an actual content strategy. You actually need a plan that you follow. So if that resonates with any of the rest of you, it's still free. Eventually it's going to be something that I charge for. There is still a masterclass on content pillars and how do you create content pillars to guide you in this. So if anybody's watching this video and you're like, I've never done that, I need that, type content pillars in the comments and I will get you the links. It's 2 different videos on that one. Eventually that's going to move and it's going to be something that I charge for. So for now, it's still free. So grab it while you can. Okay. Amanda says, yes, please. I'm assuming that was about next week. Oh, no. Yes, please on how to measure. That's what it was. Okay. Got it. Got it. Jackie says, yeah, no plan. So we need to create a plan. That's what it's all about. We're going to create a plan. All right. No questions. No other questions. If anybody else is watching this and you have questions on any of these 20 statements, just drop it in the comments and I'll come back and answer after we're done. Okay. So let's talk about how do you tabulate this. So on the last page of the assessment, you have this kind of section here, okay? And so the way that this works, I just want to walk you through it because it is a little bit tricky, okay? You're going to count up in this first box here, these 3 boxes, forget the numbers for a second, how many check marks you checked up above. So count out how many no's you had, count out how many sort ofs, and count how many yeses. And that's the number that goes in that box. So if you had 5 no's and 10 sort ofs, that's the number you put in there, okay? Then you're going to just follow the directions here. So the no's, just immediately transfer that down. Whatever that number was. If that was 5, you put a 5 here, okay? Whatever your number of sort ofs, you're going to multiply that by 2. So if I got 10, this number becomes 20, okay? Same thing here, only you're going to multiply it by 5. This is how we get to a score out of 100%. So what you're going to then do is tabulate those calculations, add it up. What does this plus this plus this equal? You're going to end up with a number somewhere between 0 and 100. Now, what I want to say here is this is no judgment. This is not anything like that. This is your starting point. And I want you to not judge yourself. Like I said, I was a big fat 0. If I would have taken this, if this had existed before I created it, I would have been big old goose egg, okay? Not judgment, not shaming, not anything. This is your starting point, and it means you're going up from here. I would tell you, keep this assessment handy. Once a quarter, retake it for yourself. Go back in and retake it again and say, am I moving the needle? Am I making progress? Okay? Okay. Now, let's talk about, let me see if there's any questions first. Hold on. Okay, Jackie, the self-assessment link is up above in the description with this video. Don't click on it right now because I don't want to lose you. Stay with me. But when we're done, come back and find this video. Also, the link to the assessment is pinned at the top of the group. If you still can't find it, Jackie, send me a DM and I'll send you the link. Okay, now, what do you do with these scores? What does the different scores mean? Okay, if you are under 50, you need to learn. Your call to action is you need to learn how to do these things, okay? It's likely the reason these are the reason your score is under 50 is many of these things you don't know how to do. You haven't yet learned them. So again, no judgment. It just means you need to learn it. It's as simple as that. Now, you can learn it on your own. That's what I did, right? I actually calculated this up. I didn't even want to share this number, but I'm going to share it because it's staggering. But a friend and I recently added up how much money did we spend in coaches and programs and memberships and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm happy to announce it was not more than $20,000, but it was more than $15,000. Oh, that makes me just sick to think about that. But all of that knowledge is something that I learned over the course of about 5 years. Even though I had taken all of those programs and learned all of those things, I still found myself 2 years ago with a very dead Facebook group where I would have been 0 on this. Okay. And I systematically figured out how to turn this around. I would say, I'd like to say it took me 6 months, but honestly, that's probably not true. It was probably more like 9. And honestly, I'm still learning. Even into this year, I'm still learning. So you can learn this on your own. You don't have to go out and spend crazy money. If you want to go faster, if you want it to be easier, if you want to learn from my mistakes and get my templates and get my ideas, that's what Ignite Your Facebook Group, that's what this program is all about. In 12 weeks, you're going to learn all of these. You're going to learn every single one of these in 12 weeks. And not only learn it, but get help actually applying it. Okay. If you scored between 51 and 74, what's likely going on is you need targeted focus. There's likely a concept that you've got to learn. So going back to these gears, you likely have got this one and got this one and got this one, but maybe not this one. And so you need to focus just on that piece. So what I would encourage you to do is go back and look through your assessments and look at the things that you are scoring either sort of or no on and say, there's a theme here, right? It's almost like identify what is your gap inside of these different gears. Maybe it's a content gap. Maybe it's an engagement gap. Maybe it's something else where if you were to focus and target it, that may be the case. Now, in terms of what do you do about that? Again, you can learn it on your own. The cool thing is now that you have focus and you can say, this is where my opportunity is right here. Now you can go after just that thing that you need. Okay. So for example, if it is a video focus and you're not doing video, then you need to join the Go Live League membership and learn how to go live and how to get those numbers up. If it is something like content or even engagement, then you need Spark, where you learn how to do those things. Okay, hopefully that helps make sense. Okay, so your kind of action item here, if you're in this range, is to say, what are the categories of, or the gears? What are the specific target areas that I need? All right, okay. If you need help with that target area and you don't want to take a program, you might be able to just book a single session with me and I can help you with that. Okay. What happens if you are above 75? I would guess you know how to do all of this stuff. You know all of these parts and pieces. You know how to do all of this stuff. Chances are you're either not doing it, like there's an accountability issue, or you need feedback. You think you're doing it. Like, I think I'm doing this. I'm giving myself a high score, but it's not getting me the results that I want. So what you may need is sort of like isolating the particular problem that's going on. What is happening that's making me recognize that, like, this isn't going so well. This piece isn't going so well. So some solutions for you would be to book a review or even a one-on-one and let me help you with that. Let me take a look at what's going on in your Facebook group and say, I see what the problem is. This is what we need to do. And I can give you some targeted action plans for you to go and do that stuff. All right. Let me know if you have any questions on this. But what I would hope that you would do is take some time to reflect. There's even a spot in somewhere. I've been pulling my pages out of my book and now I can't find them all. Hold on. It's somewhere. Where's my calculator one? Right here. There's a spot here for you to reflect. This is probably way more important than the score. Where are my opportunities? What do I need to work on? And then prioritize those. Don't try to go after every single one of them. You make yourself crazy. Focus on one and say, okay, this is where my opportunity is. This is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to do this. Then move on to the next one and the next one. Okay. What's most important here is to say, what is the first next step I can take? We can easily get overwhelmed. Let me know if you ever feel overwhelmed by this stuff, where you think, oh my gosh, I've got so much to do. How am I supposed to get all of this done? We just had our Go Live League call, which is my membership call. And one of the things we were talking about, we're focused on doing challenges this month. And one of the things we talked about is this combination of being excited and overwhelmed, or excited and nervous, or excited and terrified. And the reality is those are often very similar in the way chemically they show up in our bodies. Sometimes it's just a mind over matter thing. I'm excited instead of, oh my gosh, I'm horrible at this Facebook group stuff. I suck. I want you to say, oh, I now have a roadmap. I now know what I need to work on and how I need to get there. Woo, that's exciting. That different mindset will take you so far. And one of the examples, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but I gave an example about how this really can happen. And I suspect you've had this happen in your life too, where you have had some sort of epiphany on mind over matter and different focused and staying positive and the difference that it has made in your world. So it's a real thing here. Don't discount it. Okay, let me see if you got any questions. And then we're gonna move on. Okay, let's see here. Amanda says, ouch, that's a lot of money. Yeah, no kidding. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Okay, Lucy says, I'm gonna be a group queen in 12 weeks. Lucy's in Ignite. Yes, you are. Okay, she needs feedback. Okay, so your score was up there. Good. That's good. You're gonna get that. I like it. Okay, Lucy says, my assessment does not have the wheels at the beginning. I know it's not in there. I've posted it in other places. If anybody wants just this graphic with the gears, just type gears in the comments and I'll send you the link just to that graphic. I've posted it a number of different times. I probably, now that you say that though, that's a really good idea. I should write that down. I am going to write that down so that I make sure next time around I put it in there. That's a good call out. Okay. If I don't do it right now, you guys know how this is, right? I'm going to totally lose track of where I'm going. Gears in the Facebook group assessment. Okay. 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 My first step is joining Ignite. Yeah. And gears, please. You got it. I'll get it to you. It might not be right after this call, but I'll get it to you today or tomorrow. Okay. So what is the first next step that you can take? This was about looking at the things that overwhelm us. And oftentimes when we're overwhelmed, it's because everything is just scattered. Everything is all over the place. And as soon as you just make the time to organize those things, you can clearly see what those steps are. But if you stay in this space of just, oh my gosh, it's so much, you're going to overwhelm yourself. So tell yourself, what is one thing I could do? Look at this assessment, right? And say, which one thing do I need to work on? What's one step that I can take? If you know what that is, drop it in the comments because that helps hold you accountable. If you're unsure and you're like, I don't know what to do, okay? I don't know where to go. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to message me. Whether you're with me live today or you're watching on the replay, if this assessment has got you perplexed and you're like, I don't know where to start, I want you to message me. Send me a voice note or just text, it doesn't matter, and be like, okay, I took the assessment and here's where I'm stuck, and I'll help you with this very first next step. Okay. Let me see if I got anything else I want to talk about. Okay, here's what I want to say. You can figure this out alone. I'm never going to be that coach that says you must buy my programs. It's the only thing that's going to help you. I figured it out on my own. You can figure it out on your own. It just took me a couple of years to figure it out. So if you've got that time, that kind of time, and you're not in any hurry, then systematically go through this checklist and figure it out. If you want to get there faster and have an easier show of it, then that's where my programs come in. That's where you're going to learn the step-by-step and have some accountability around getting it done. Here's the cool thing. On either of my group coaching programs, you got lifetime access. Okay. So I don't ever want anybody to feel like I have to be able to nail this in the 6 weeks or the 12 weeks. No, you can keep going. You can go at your pace. You can do it again if you need to. That's the beauty of it. Why shouldn't our programs be that way? If we're promising results and we're promising help and support, that help and support needs to be there. So I'm a big believer in that. So know that you're going to get that. Okay. This self-assessment is your roadmap. It's what we follow inside of Ignite, but you can use it as a tool for you as well. Go through them one by one. I'm focused on this one first, and then I'm going to focus on the next one next, and use it that way. It becomes your blueprint, if you will, on your kind of correcting and redirecting your efforts. Okay. If Ignite, I know many of you that are on are already in Ignite or have done Ignite, but those of you that are watching on the replay, if Ignite is something that you are interested in, I want you to reach out because I want to make it happen for you. I might even have a discount coupon for you. Okay, so let's talk if that's of interest. If you need to message me or if you want to jump on a call, either are possible. Okay, with the few minutes we have left, I promised Amanda we would get into calculating engagement. Okay, so we're going to do this real quick. All I want you to have, we're going to do part 1 today, and then you're going to have homework, and then I want you to bring the rest tomorrow. So the 2 parts are, number 1, we got to collect the data. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to do that today. And then next week, I want you to bring the data to our call on Thursday. And then we will calculate next week. Okay. So 2 steps because you got to go get the numbers first. And then I promise it'll make more sense when you're calculating it, when you actually have real data. Okay. So I'm going to show you now where to do that. So let me screen share here. Hold on. I got to get rid of that guy. I think I have Facebook open. Boop. Nope. Let's do this. Okay. Screen share. Boom. Yes. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but now you should see Facebook. You see a pug. Oh, okay. All right. So how do you do this? Go into your group. Okay. I'm going to go into my group. Go into your group. From your group, by the way, Jackie, right here, featured. There's the link for the assessment if you need it. Okay. Or if anybody needs it. I just called out Jackie because she asked the question. Okay. Scroll down. Once you're in your group, scroll down on the left-hand side to this word right here. It's under Insights, and you're going to see the word engagement. See that right there? Engagement. Click on engagement. Okay. It's going to pull up these wonderful graphs. What you're wanting to do is on this first graph. Okay. I don't know. Hold on. I think I have to be full screen. Oh, I don't know why you can't see that button. That button right here says all. You want to click on all because this right here in this little part here, this is the data you want to collect. Okay. It's going to automatically default to 28 days, the last 28 days. You can change it if you want. I never do. You can look at the last 60 days if you want. And it just changes. It's just pulling that. You can even do a custom and pull specific dates. I just usually leave at the 28 days. Okay. So what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper in your group, and I want you to write down all of these numbers on a piece of scratch paper, put it into a spreadsheet, whatever else. Next week, I'm going to actually give you a spreadsheet so that you can keep track of this. Okay. So what you're going to look at first is how many members do you have? You can find that over here. Right. Over on the upper left-hand side, you'll see how many members you have in your group. And then you're going to look for how many posts, how many comments, how many reactions, and write all of those numbers down. Okay. If you're not seeing that, you're on the wrong tab. So each of these tabs, see these tabs over here, give you bits of data. If you want to go through each one, you may, but if you just click on the last one that says all, it shows you all in one place. Okay. The last number that you need to get is this one right here, which is of your members that you have in your group, how many of them were active in the last 28 days? Active means they did something in your group. They liked it, they loved it, they commented, whatever else it is. Okay. So that is what you're going to grab. Grab those numbers, tuck them away somewhere, bring them next Thursday, and I'll show you what the heck to do with them. Okay. Okay. I want to show you a couple other things while we're here, but let me do this first. Let me come back to boop, boop. Okay. Where's I going to go? Any questions about grabbing those numbers, those pieces of data before I move on and give you another little tip? Let me check comments. Just make sure you got it. Okay. Anybody else? Questions on grabbing those pieces of data? Okay. Let me give you some context around this. Okay. It used to be there was a piece of data that said 20% is a good rate of engagement in a Facebook group. I've recently seen a piece of data that said anything under 100% is poor. Whew. Okay. Anything over 100% and upwards is higher. And oftentimes I will get people that'll say, well, wait a minute, how can I get more than 100%? Because you have multiple people participating more than once, right? So if you have somebody who is a super fan and they comment on multiple posts, that's going to drive your number up and up and up. Okay. So that's why the percentage can be much higher than 100%. Okay. So having said that, there's a little bit of uncertainty around what is good and what is not good and where that number is. So here's what I'm going to tell you before we even calculate that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's the same thing as I said on this assessment. Don't worry about the number. The number is not a judgment. The number is your starting point. The number is how you track yourself and you say, how am I getting better and better and better at this Facebook group? Okay. So what you're wanting to look at, I tell my clients, only pull this number once a month. If you're pulling it way more often than that, you're down way too far in the weeds and you don't need to be. Okay. This is your starting point. So whatever piece of data you go get there, I know I showed you my numbers. I don't want you to compare to my numbers. Okay. I will tell you 2 years ago when my Facebook group was dead, my numbers were not what you just saw. So if anything, what I want you to do is use what you just saw me share and be like, that's where I can get. That's my goal. That's what I'm striving for. That's my inspiration, my motivation. Don't use it to beat yourself up. Okay. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm guessing you guys are good on pulling this data. Yes? Okay, hold on. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I think I already said this, but bring your data next week and I'll show you how to calculate that. Yes? Okay. Your call to action, other than pulling that piece of data, is to decide whether or not Ignite is a program that you're going to want to be part of. And many of you are already signed up, and I'm so excited. We did decide we're going to start early. So we are going to be starting Ignite on the 13th of September. We're going to meet every Friday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. That's what we decided, right? I think so. We do have a couple of break weeks in there that'll be Q&A only. And then we have the holidays in there that you'll have some breaks in. So we actually start on the 13th and we go all the way until the Christmas holiday. So I hope you will consider coming and trying. That is what this whole thing is about. And if you need to talk about numbers or what's in the program or pricing or payment plans or any of that, message me. I would love, love, love to talk to you about this. Okay. Let me check one more time, see if there's any questions. I don't see any. So here's what I'm going to say. This self-assessment is your roadmap or blueprint. Use it. You can do this alone. I hope that you'll join us for Ignite because I can get you there faster and easier with templates and everything else. But if I can do it, you can do it. I really wish that I had grabbed a screenshot of where my group stats were all of those months ago so that you could see the improvement. But hopefully you trust me. When I say it was dead, it was dead. So I want you to recognize that you just have to systematically go through, identify what are you going to work on, learn how to do that, figure it out yourself, and you can absolutely turn around and create this Facebook group that does all of the things that you want it to do. I'm no different than you. I was full of all of the excuses. I promise you I was. And I now have a group that I'm honestly blown away by. All I want to do all day, every day is just hang out in there. I rarely even hang out in my feed anymore because my group is so much more fun to hang out in because you're all in there. So you can do this. I have zero doubts. If you need help, that's what I'm here for. All right. I hope this was valuable today. I hope you learned a little bit more about this assessment and how to use it. If you got questions, you know where to find me. Bye, guys. See you next time.